If you have a 17 to 19 Ford Superduty, you probably already know about the Morimoto XB quad LED projector headlight. These things are iconic, and I'm happy to tell you that there's a new version. The Gen 2 from Morimoto XB has the same projector layout and style as the XB headlight for the new Superduty, but it fits your 17 to 19. Now you have two different options to give your 17 to 19 truck a facelift. Either install the Gen 2 XB headlights from Morimoto, or do a front-end swap from a newer truck onto yours. The XB headlights are a significantly cheaper option than doing a front-end swap, and the new one is brighter with a wider beam pattern than the old XB headlight. These new XB headlights use the same projector stack as the 2020 and up Superduty headlights, and they're brighter than the stock halogen reflector headlights, they're brighter than the stock LED headlights, and they're brighter than the original Morimoto XB LED headlights for your 17 to 19 Superduty. The style update is a huge upgrade. Everybody's used to seeing the Morimoto XB headlights now, and this design takes it to another level. You no longer have that fully connected daytime running light. Now it splits in the middle, giving you that facelift look. The modern Superduties with the OEM LED headlights have this same style of DRL layout, and now you can have it on your 17 to 19 as well. The original Gen 1 XB headlight for your 17 to 19 Superduty had a fairly plain, boxy looking projector shroud on the inside of the headlight. The new one is filled with shapes that are more aggressive, more modern, and give your truck a totally different look than before. The first thing you're going to notice when you turn these headlights on is a really cool animated startup sequence. This unique startup sequence is the best looking startup sequence of any headlight out there. Morimoto started this trend and everybody else is trying to copy it, but the Morimoto version is still the best looking. When you're driving around with your truck during the day and your headlights are off, you're going to get this super bright LED daytime running light. That's the LED strip on the top, in the middle, and the bottom. All three of those sections light up a bright white during the day for added safety. When people see your truck coming down the road with those lights on, they know that they're not going to miss you. And when you hit your turn signals, that whole thing changes to amber. And of course, you can choose between standard on-off blink or a sequential animated turn signal. When you turn the headlights on to low beam, all of those white DRLs are going to dim to 50%, and all four of your projectors will illuminate for low beam. When you hit the high beam, you're going to get a massive boost of light out of these bottom two projectors as the internal solenoid opens up and allows more light to come through. Now, if you love that amber turn signal and you wish you could have it all the time for a Raptor style feel on your Superduty, coming soon there's going to be an amber version of this that doesn't have a white DRL at all. This entire thing will be amber. You'll still have the white headlight, but the accent lighting will be amber, so you'll get to choose. Now, if you're wondering how much better and brighter the XB headlights are to your stock headlights, let's turn them on so you can see for yourself. For this test, we're going to line the truck up at 25 feet and use a digital lux meter on the wall to measure actual usable brightness and then compare it to the Morimoto XB. The stock low beam comes in at 400 maximum lux. It's not a very good beam pattern. It's kind of a crummy color, and it's not very bright. That's about the same brightness as you get on a Toyota 4Runner. Don't you think the Superduty should have some brighter headlights than this? Now let's look at the Gen 1 headlight. Now don't be confused. This is the original style headlight from Morimoto XB that looks like this. It blows your stock headlight out of the water, coming in at 970 maximum lux. That's 142% brighter than stock. But what if we put the Gen 2 on the screen? So now we're looking at this headlight, the new style, the Gen 2 that looks like the modern trucks. On low beam, this comes in at 1,420 maximum lux. That's 254% brighter than your stock headlights. Talk about an upgrade. Now let's go back to your stock headlight, fire up the high beam, and compare it to the Morimoto XB Gen 1. Your stock headlight comes in at 560 maximum lux, and the Gen 1 XB for Morimoto comes in 1,000 lux brighter at 1,530. That alone is 173% brighter than stock. But wait, there's more. Check out the Gen 2 in comparison. High beam on this sucker comes in at 1,850 maximum lux. That's 230% brighter than what's on your truck today. That's an insane amount of light and a huge increase over stock. Obviously, these are an amazing choice for your truck, whether you have the stock halogen reflector, the stock LED headlights, the Morimoto XB Gen 1 LED headlights, or really any other brand of headlights on your truck. These are hands down 100% the brightest option in the world for a 17 to 19 Super Duty. So let's see how to install them.
First things first, let's go ahead and pop the hood. Let's get started. Alrighty guys, so with the hood popped open here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove a series of plastic clips up top here to remove this radiator cover. So with all those removed, there are two up top here. Go ahead and remove those last two and you're free to pull the radiator cover from the truck. So with all those little guys removed now, let's go ahead and remove this cover from the truck. Lift up on each side and release it and set it to the side. Alrighty guys, so the next step we're gonna do is there is a series of 10mm bolts. There's 8 of them to be precise, so let's get to it. Next thing we're going to do is to remove this grill off this truck. There is a series of pretty stiff push clips, so if this is your first time taking this truck apart, it probably will fight you a little bit. The best way to do it is to start up top, pull towards you, and then work towards the bottom. So before we do pull the grill off of this truck here, there is a series of connections we do need to remove first. This guy here, it is held on by a little clamp. It is tough for me to show you in here because it is kind of a tight space, but pull the clamp off of here and this will remove straight off the back. So the clamp comes off like so. And look at that, it just took itself off. So there is a connection for the grill sensor as well. It is a brown connection. It's hard to see for the camera, but it's behind this little tower guy here. Just go ahead and push down on the clip and it should come right out for you. With those free, you can set the grill to the side. Alrighty guys, so the next thing we're going to do here is they're removing a series of bolts to get this headlight out of the truck. There's going to be 2 on the inside here, 1 up top, and 1 on the corner here. Let's go ahead and get the inside corner ones first. So the next one here is behind this little rubber boot. You can go ahead and pull this boot down and show you. It's just a simple 10mm bolt here. So we'll go ahead and remove this one now. So here's the one behind the boot here. It's a little tough to see, but if you pull down your liner, you'll see what I'm talking about. Go ahead and remove that one. So there is one final top bolt up here. Let's go ahead and get that one. So with that done now, let's go ahead and get this housing out of the truck. There is going to be a push clip up here. Let's go ahead and pull towards you. Release it. And slowly just work this housing out of the truck. So with the headlight free from the vehicle here, first thing we're going to do is remove these connections. Starting from the top, work your way down. So we'll start with a side marker. And the top H13. Next we'll do the turn signal. And finally, the last H13 connection. Set the housing off to the side. So before we do install the headlights into this truck, we are going to run this DRL harness first. This here includes the fuse tap, as well as the 2 proprietary connections for the headlights. So let's go ahead and get this run first, and then we'll move on to the headlights. So moving on to the fuse box now, we are going to go ahead and remove this here. Let's go ahead and take the cover off and set this to the side. So with the cover removed now, we're ready to put the fuse tap in place. This is the fuse tap location we are looking for right here. But before we get into that here, keep note that there is a plastic wall right here that does kind of limit the fuse tap area, kind of limits your space for you. So we are going to make use of this fuse tap extension. So this is the fuse tap extension that we're going to be using for this Ford here. You're going to see here, this is where we're going to put our XB fuse tap, and this is the fuse tap that's going to go into the actual fuse box itself. So you'll take the fuse tap here, plug it in like so. Now we're ready to put this into the fuse box. So with our extension in place now, we're ready to seat the fuse tap. So let's go ahead and bring it in here. Place it like so. Now we're going to go ahead and put our wiring in here and replace the cover. So with the fuse tap in place now, let's go ahead and run the wires and we'll get the headlights all buttoned up and installed. So with those in place now, we're ready to run the DRL harness here. There is going to be a shorter end to this and a longer end, so make sure you're keeping track of which is which. Let's go ahead and take the shorter end for the passenger side. We're going to go ahead and route this through the top. So we're going to go ahead and run this through here. I found that this little location has worked out best for us. You're going to let this guy hang out. So with that one in place here, we're going to go ahead and run this wiring right along top here. I found these hoses would be an excellent spot to go ahead and zip tie these guys to them. And lastly here, let's go ahead and wrap this guy down here. Now we can move on to installing the headlights. So to start off here, let's go ahead and take the main headlight connection, your H13. Second up, let's take the side marker. And next up, we'll take the DRL connection. And we'll take the turn signal connection.
As you can see, install is straightforward. It goes on the exact same way as the old XB headlights from Morimoto. The mounting points are all the same as your stock headlight. The wiring all plugs in, nothing to it. They're better, they're brighter, they're cooler, and you can get yours today at headlightrevolution.com. Of course, we have tons of lighting upgrades for your Super Duty, so check out our channel, look for Super Duty videos, and we're going to blow your mind with what's possible for your truck.